How do you become a better negotiator? Life is one continuous series of negotiations. We've been negotiating since we were children in the kitchen, trying to get more ice cream from mum or dad. We negotiate every day in our job, with our friends, colleagues, with strangers, with people in shops, everywhere we go. Life is a negotiation, but most of us haven't actually studied the art and the skill of negotiating well. In the next couple of minutes, I will give you a massive mental upgrade, a software upgrade that will help you become 3 times, 4 times, 5 times more effective as a negotiator. Are you ready? Here's a statement. Give me your immediate response. Is this true? Is this false? Faced with a difficult opponent, it is better to concede something of little value in order to create goodwill. True or false? False or true? What do you get? I've asked this question to hundreds and hundreds of people during our trainings, and I would say 98% of people say it's true. And in fact, when I first read that myself years ago, I was like, yeah, definitely true. Makes sense, right? Let's break it down. First of all, faced with a difficult opponent. So listen to that language. When we think about opponents, well, that often conjures up ideas of sports. You know, in sports, we have an opponent. And in sports, we have a winner and we have a loser. And then if you add the word difficult, like a difficult opponent, what does that create? Oh, this person's being difficult. They're a difficult person. Now, look, you might oppose what the other party is asking of you, and you might well find this person's personality difficult. That's a common thing. However, as a great negotiator, you can't see people as opponents. You need to see them as your partners. So even somebody who is asking for the world and you think it's ridiculous, and you find them rude or abrupt or aggressive, really difficult to deal with, still, the mindset for you to bring to this is that they are your partner. Because great negotiation is all about finding something that works for both parties. So faced with a difficult opponent, it is better. Well, better than what? We haven't defined what the alternative is. And a key skill or a key outcome in negotiation is to find a better alternative that works for you and that works for the other party. So we can't say that it is better because we're not giving an alternative. The essence of negotiation is to find out something new, something perhaps creative, a solution that ticks boxes for you, ticks boxes for the other party or the other person involved. It's all about finding what could be better than currently what is. It is better to concede. Concede. Here is a huge mindset shift for most people. Great negotiators don't concede. They never concede. They never just give something away for free. Great negotiators trade. So great negotiation is about trading. And really what we're talking about is trading value, which leads us on to the next part of the sentence. Faced with a difficult opponent, it is better to concede something of little value. Whoa, okay, alarm bells should be ringing. Little value? Determined by who? Who's saying this is of little value? What might be really little value to me could be absolutely essential for you, and vice versa. Value is subjective. What I find value, and value is also circumstantial. You know, in this circumstance, this thing is really valuable. In another circumstance, it's not valuable at all. If I'm sitting here and I'm just drinking lots of water and you offer me a glass of water and you're trying to negotiate with me for a glass of water, there's no value attached to that for me. I've got plenty, thanks. If I've just finished a marathon race and I've had no drink the entire time, suddenly one glass of water has huge value for me in that circumstance, in that situation. So we need to be careful about what we're just putting out there and say, oh, well, this is of very little value to me. It's easy for me to give this, so I just gave it to them. You might be giving away your biggest value. And then what have you got left to trade? Maybe nothing. So final point of this statement, it is when faced with a difficult opponent, it is better to concede something of little value in order to create goodwill. And again, here is another watch out, this concept that we can automatically create goodwill by giving something away or by giving something to another person. Sometimes that does happen. right? Sometimes, you might, well, I'm a nice person. You might identify as a people pleaser and think, well, I want to please this person, so I'm just going to give them a whole bunch of stuff up front. Time, effort, energy, money, value, whatever that is. And the hope is they will reciprocate, right? Maybe you've read, Patrick Lencioni's book on influence, and we've got the law of reciprocity, right? We have an inbuilt mechanism that we want to reciprocate, that we feel sometimes obliged to reciprocate. Yep, that can happen. However, if you are faced with a professional negotiator, if you're faced with someone who's a bit of a bully, who's very dominant, extremely confident, very assertive, very challenging, or a mixture of all of those things, you're in trouble, because you might be giving something away and they'll just take that. Yep, thanks very much. You've given me that. Okay, now let's start the negotiation. What do you mean? I've already started the negotiation. I've given you this thing. No. You just gave me that. Now we're negotiating. So now let's look at starting the negotiation. You don't want to find yourself in that situation. So, in summary, just let's revisit this. When faced with a difficult opponent, it is better to give something of little value, or to concede something of little value, in order to create goodwill. Does this feel true anymore? Hopefully not. Okay, so we've just deconstructed that statement. I'm curious to ask you, what's been the biggest change in your thinking when it comes to negotiation? Having watched this video, what's been the biggest light bulb aha realization? What's the mindset reframe that you're now going to apply when you negotiate going forwards?